Good evening, Flosstube. Beth Martinez, phantastitches, here with my Flosstube update number 360. Wow. Today is Saturday, November 16th, 2024. Halfway through November. Today I have another finish. Yay. Stuff I'm working on for WIPGO and so forth. Just a quick update. I'm trying to think what order I'm going to do this in. Hold on one second. Turn the sound off on my phone. I'm still working on, my November WIPGO stuff. I haven't worked anymore on my things for the Jingle Ball that's coming up the first weekend of December. I think it's the 6th, 7th, and 8th, or yeah, I think something like that. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It ends Sunday night. Sunday night at midnight, and begins Friday evening, I forget what time. But the midnight thing on Sunday is midnight, like West Coast time. The standard times that are listed there are all Eastern Standard Times, but there's an app, you can click on the place in the app and it tells you like your time zone. But they're anyway, it's going on that first weekend of December, and so you can still get general admission tickets, and I think probably the PDF class tickets, as far as I know, you can still do. I don't know about kit. Full kits. Some teachers are doing an actual kitted version where you can purchase the kit. But I think almost all of them have a PDF version of the class. So you buy the PDF and kit it up yourself. So anyway, I will put the link to the Jingle Ball again in the description box below, and you can check it out yourself and see if it's good for you. And I've touted it all this time that it's a really fun alternative especially for people who can't, for whatever reason, attend retreats regularly or often enough, whatever, because of you think about the cost of plane fare and hotel and food and this and that and the other, but this way you could do it from the comfort of your own home, in your pajamas if you want. And still have the fun of connecting with other stitchers. There's virtual stitch tables, so they have fun names like Texas Stitchers and West Coast Stitchers and this and different groups that you can join in the groups. And there's like stitching speed dating, where you meet with another stitcher for a few minutes, and then after that time limit, you move on and can hook up with somebody else, whatever. And so it's a fun way to get to know each other and all that. Anyway, so I am gearing up for the Jingle Ball eventually, but and I have like I said, I'm still in the position I was in before, that I have the one little stocking thing finished, and the festive forest I haven't stitched on anymore. I'm still debating about whether, I think I'm gonna try to order the flosses. I went to look at 123 Stitch today for the Week Starworks flosses. They're 3-week Starworks colors for Festive Forest, and they are like grits and river otter and cardinal. And on 123 Stitch, they had river otter, but the cardinal thread was backward, out of stock, I guess, anyway. And so I went by the attic today to see if they had them, you know, locally there. And because grits is one, you know, that's called for. I have. The other two, river otter and cardinal, I don't think there was even a space for it there at the attic, you know, space on their floss thing wasn't there. So I don't think, as far as I know, as far as I could see, it wasn't there. So I may just go ahead and try to find a place to order it, you know. And again, what are they called? I can't ever say that word. Cottage garden threads. I guess that is an Australian thread, as far as I know, and I don't know really. I have to still look into that. I don't know if I'm going to use the DMC alternatives for that. I'd kind of like to get the threads just because, but like I said, I have to sort of look into that a little further. Anyway, so I am gonna talk about what I've been doing this month. So I'll start with my finish. I've been trying to finish the Rabbit set, and there's one for each month. And so far, I've gotten all of them done except for for this month and next month. I had November, July, and December rabbits. Well, last week I finished the November one. I showed that one, and this week I finished July. So the July stitching, the July one was almost done. All the rabbits were done, and the outer yellow. It's golden squash is the color of these yellow things. I guess they were done about halfway, and the greenery was done about a little more than halfway. But I had two of the pink corner things done, but not the other two. So anyway, so. I don't know when I started. I think I started this I think I worked on it Thursday and Friday or something like that. And this is just my little corner marker. But I finished it. I had to make sure I didn't forget to do this one little single green stitch here. Because I had not done it, when I was doing everything else. And as a matter of fact, the green border was done to about here, and I have about, I think it was done to right around here somewhere. Maybe, yeah, up to here. And I started, and went up this way to finish it. And up here, there's one green stitch that's right up against this yellow thing. And so I had not done these yellow designs, yet. And so I realized there was one green stitch that I had not done, this one right here. And also one of these, this little yellow figure is half a square off, This is 1/2. No, I mean 2/2. And no, 1/2. This is Gloriana Silks, 1/2. And this little guy is one little hole off. And I was just trying to count it, and I just somehow missed this one. These are correct, but this one is wrong. But oh well, you can't tell. Just looking at it, you really can't tell. so I don't care. This is all in the called for Gloriana silks. And this is 32 count Murano Carré. And this, they had a gray version and a taupe version of this gingham plaid kind of stuff. And I think this is, I want to say this is the gray coloring, but I'm not positive. Anyway, that is July. And so with that, the only one I have left yet to do is the December one, the one I have to finish. It's been started, but on this December rabbit, I did all of the 4 little rabbits, and they're you can see their tails here, and they're just a little bit lighter shade of for the inside of the ears. So the rabbits themselves are done, and I did one of these, little corner figures. And this is also on the same, I think this is the same color. Maybe one is taupe and the other is gray. Maybe they're both gray, I don't know. So I did the bunnies and I did just one corner. So this is probably the least further along of all of them that I had so far. So this one, and there's a cat hair on there. So I have to do the little holly berries, and there's greenery in between them all. And really, it's pretty much a fairly limited color palette, as far as there's single individual stitches in these berries, to highlight the berries. And those are, I haven't done yet. Those are missing here. There's an empty square for each of those. But otherwise, it's, the couple of colors of green and the berries. Oops, sorry. Oh, goodness gracious. Yeah. So, let's have a lot of work on that one next month. We shall see. But I'm close to having all of them finished, finally. So hopefully next year I can get around to FFOing them. I've done the first 3, and I have them all consistently. I have these little black discs that were, I guess, originally intended to be like a garland, that you would string up and hang somewhere, and you could, write on them like chalkboard kind of, surface. You could write in chalk on whatever, like congratulations, or, I don't know what you would say. But there were a dozen in here, in the package. And then I bought various little things to go with it. I bought a roll of like washi tape, kind of, that have the months on them, listed on them, January, February, March, like that. And then there are these little, I had little tag shaped things that made out of like, like that heavy brown craft paper kind of stuff. And then I think the way I finished them, I think I mounted the rabbit on a piece of like, mat board kind of thing, and then made cording around each one. And I have a little easel that the disc sits on for each month, is the concept. And so I actually have to make cording for each of those rabbits. I have to choose some DMC thread and make cording. And so I need to choose a couple of DMC threads that match the colors used in the design, in the rabbit design, and then make cording to go around each one. So FFOing them is going to take some doing, but if I can finish the December rabbit next month, then I will have them all ready. And actually doing them, apart from making the cording, which is the one thing that would probably, take the most time, partly because I have to decide, and deciding is not my strong suit. I would have to decide what colors I want to use, and sort of, look at colors that are close to what is in the actual design. But so I have to, choose colors to make the cording out of, and then make the cording, and then, because putting it together, gluing it all together and all that kind of stuff doesn't take very long, I don't think, but it was just making the cording is probably the only thing that would take any time. But, everything is up in the air, and while we're still trying to sell the house, all that stuff is in storage, and it ain't gonna happen soon. So anyway, but that's the long-term vision. So I just have to finish doing the December rabbit next month. Anyway, so much for that. Hold on one second. Sip a lovely beverage, as David Letterman used to say. So the other thing, last week, yeah, I showed a start on Starry Night. This is a Prairie Schooler pattern, Starry Night, and it consists of these 7 pictures from the Nativity story. And this month I'm working on this one here, and actually I could save the last one, which is this one here, for next month. I don't know that I have, for WIPGO, I don't know that I have one of my whips, something called Deep Waters. I talked about that before. And then the raccoon, which is a Cottage garden samplings, Year in the Woods pattern from that. But my secondary whip, there's nothing listed there, so I might save this one for that, or I may, if I have time, just do it this month. We'll see. But I did do just a little bit more. This is the wise man. That's his hat, and his face will go right here. And then this is like just the slope here of the sky that you can't see, and then the buildings there. So that's the slope of the sky, and the buildings will go right in here, and his hat and his face here, and then the star will be there. And I'm almost done with this part, upper part of the sky. And then there's some like single individual back stitching, of the little kind of stars, twinkly things in their sky there. But this is the number 6, basically, of this series. So again, this one is this series of patterns is almost done, and I may be able to finish this off as well. And these also have to be FFO'd, and all my FFO stuff is in storage. But I want to do them the same way I did the Blackwork Angels. I think I might still have some more of I used like a velveteen ribbon for the hanger for them. They were finished as ornaments. So I think I might still have the black kind of velveteen ribbon, and if not, I can get some more. I think I've got it at Hobby Lobby. I should be able to get some more, and then if I don't have enough, and then I think I made black and gold cording to go around them, and this Starry Night patterns. It's the same basic color palette, gold and black mostly, and a little bit of blue. And then I have some more of the backing fabric that I used for the Blackrock Angels, which is a gold and black fabric. And so I should be able to finish them in the same way as the Blackrock Angels. I apologize for the alarm thing. We have a sort of defunct alarm system in this house, but so at times it kind of like goes off randomly. I don't know. We don't know what causes it, why it starts, why it stops. It's just there. Anyway, but so the Starry Night set, if I can finish stitching that, hopefully I can FFO that next year as well, eventually, and finish those in the kind of in the similarly to how the Blackrock Angels are done. Again, that's for future consideration. Just depends on how things go. And so then I worked some more on my first WIPGO call, which is Wayfaring Stranger. And this is one I did for my dad. And I redid this a little bit. Last time I had like a vertical thing, but it's the same dimensions and everything. I just reprinted it on a horizontal page because I was the one I had before was over 2 pages. It's a little bit larger to look at, but so it was over 2 pages, and it was just like, I didn't want to do it that way if I could avoid it. If I could get it all on one page, the outer page but just the picture like this was not a problem. But when it came to the actual pattern to work off of, it was split over 2 pages, and I don't like that because I'm sort of it's hard for me to make. I don't want to make a mistake where they overlap. Even if you have some of the stitches grayed out or whatever, it's just risky. And so it's better for me, for my brain, if it's all in one page. So I redid it horizontally, but also if you look at the sheets, I talked about last time about adding a sheet for my Aunt Sylvia. And also I added these little red blocks for the female sheep, and then the male sheep are just white. And then they have little backstitched. It's kind of hard to see on here, but black legs and ears and a tail, little tiny tail. Anyway, so this is my dad's family and my mom, and this is my dad, and this is us kids here. Anyway, it's and the words are from an old hymn, Wayfaring Stranger, and it says, "I am a poor wayfaring stranger while traveling through this world below," and there's a few more lines in the song, but then at the end, "I am just going over Jordan, I am just going over home." And then my dad's name and dates down here. So anyway, I worked a little bit more on this, and it's hard because it is 1 thread over 2 on this very tiny count, and I don't know, I don't know what the count is exactly. It's been a while since I've tried to measure it and see what it is, but I don't know what it is, but it's very tiny. But anyway, so I worked some more on, last week I had just the first line of the song here, and so I went ahead and finished these opening lines of the hymn, and I had not yet done the last couple lines and the dates here, but so I added these 2 lines here from the opening, and then I just did a lot of this green block. I haven't finished this area yet, but these white holes are where the sheep are going to go. And there's one here and another one there, you know, like that. And I kind of wanted to do them, but just so that I could put them in place and you know, not overlook them or miscount or whatever part they were placed. And so I thought, oh yeah, I'll do those. And I had Minotion's pouch that had, and that was actually one that I think Vicki sent us. That was like just like an Indian, Native American Southwestern print on it. Anyway, I had that as a Notions pouch in the project bag that I had this in. And it had, you know, several threads in there. And so I just assumed they were the threads from this project. And then I went to look for there, and I was like, well, no, this isn't the right color. And this isn't the right color. And this isn't the right color. So I don't know what project it was, the color, those, they're all DMC threads. So I don't know what project they're from, but they're not from this project. So I had to, you know, dig around and find those other colors. But anyway, so hopefully now I can do, I don't know if I have all of them. I think I might. But yeah, work on those some more. I've done 4 days of stitching on this, and so I have 3 more days left to reach the goal, which is 7 days. I don't know if I can finish it in those 3 days. Maybe because the words down here, the dates and Dad's name and everything go pretty quickly. They're backstitched and it's, you know, actually I use long stitches on this rather than back stitches because I like the way it looks better on here. So they're long stitches. Yeah, it just looks, I think it looks better. I like the long stitching for words especially, and especially for this tiny count of fabric. And one thing that I learned at the Jingle Ball last year was about thread conditioners and wax. Let me see if I've got, yeah. So I had read somewhere about how, this is the project bag I was talking about. It has an elephant, but it's got like kind of Southwesty looks on it. This is one that I think was Vicki that sent these. If it wasn't Vicki, I apologize to who actually sent them. But so I had all the things in there. But like I said, I had read at some point that back in the day that like beeswax was considered, you know, like the waxer was considered something that you that every stitcher had or whatever, you know, was every stitcher used it or whatever. And I had always been kind of, sorry about the noise I'm making here, I had always been a little unsure of what, you know, A, how to use the waxer properly, and B, what it would do to your thread, because we I guess worry so much about putting things on your thread or your fabric, right? So like if you're gonna finish something, you use, you know, acid-free this and that, you know, acid-free mat board or whatever. And, you know, you keep your hands clean so that you're not putting, you know, grimy hands on your fabric and things like that. And so, you know, I wondered about the use of waxers or thread conditioners like Thread Magic and things like that. You know, are you putting some, you know, goopy something on your threads that's gonna damage your fabric or whatever in the long run, you know? But last year when I went to the Jingle Ball, one of the meet and greets kind of, you can meet and talk with the different designers, and it'll ask them all kinds of questions. How did you choose the name of your design company, or how did you get started cross stitching, or whatever. But one of the one of the meet and greet things that I was in was, and I can't remember who the particular designer was, but one of the things she was talking about was about using a thread conditioner. I don't know if this cat hair stuck to my thing here. But anyway, so I knew that I had one that I bought, but I also had this one, and this one I got at Stitch Shenanigans in 2019. They gave each of us one of these. It's a little saguaro, but it's made of beeswax. And so this person was talking about how you would use it, and how it's, you basically run the thread over the waxer, and then you can kind of run the thread between your fingers, and that you can kind of tell that the thread's been waxed, but it helps condition the thread so that, especially in this case, you're pulling it through these tiny holes in the fabric, and it puts a little bit of friction on the thread. And so with the beeswax conditioning the thread, it helps the thread go through your fabric more, with more strength, keep it from fraying, and all that. So with this project, I've been using my little beeswax waxer to help with the thread going through this tiny the tiny holes in this fabric. So anyway, but it's been working well, and also to sort of not use a really long piece of thread that's going through that's getting a lot of friction going through the fabric, through the holes in the fabric. But anyway, so I'm almost finished with this part of the green. And then I actually, need to go down here, and then, yeah. But I think I found all the threads that were missing from this from this Notions pouch for those that. So anyway, that I have, like I said, 3 more days of working on that, and then I'll go on to my other November stitching, which would be the bald eagle. And I also had to look for the threads for that, because that was one of the ones that I have not started yet. And I went ahead and made that my primary whip for this number, because it was the rabbits and the bald eagle. And then this other one was the Starry Night and Wayfaring Stranger. So the only one that I haven't worked on at all this month is the bald eagle. And so I spent part of today grabbing all the threads for that, and I still have a couple to look at for that one, but I think I have enough to get started on, at least. So, 3 more days on Wayfaring Stranger, and then I need to get started on the bald eagle. The month is halfway over, so I have just a little bit of time left on that one. And then I think that's it, except I got a fun little surprise when my sister and I were out running around. Like I said, we went to the attic because I was looking for those threads and I didn't find them. And I was very disciplined and didn't buy anything else I didn't need. I'm, trying to kind of keep a little money set aside because, I want to buy some things for Christmas, I guess, and like that. And actually, yeah, like I was thinking, oh yeah, maybe something I could do some kind of stitching for, for gifts for Christmas. And it's like I have all my threads and my fabric, but like, I don't have all my regular patterns. I do have some magazines not all of them. I think my Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher, I think those magazines are in storage. And I have a few other magazines, so there might be some Christmas stuff in there. I don't know. So I haven't decided if I have, small December projects handy that I could do. I don't know. As and a matter of fact, I saw that I got this little email newsletter thing from the women's ministry at my church, and they're doing a Christmas party, but it's just the same time as the Jingle Ball. And I thought, well, maybe I could, slip out and go to this party for a couple hours. But then I thought, well, I don't know if it's at the same time as my class, as the Jingle Ball classes that I'm taking, because I think they're both on Saturday, like one in the morning, one in the evening, or something like that. I haven't looked again at the schedule, but I don't want to miss the class, And so, because one of the things they're doing at this party is like an ornament exchange. I thought, oh yeah, maybe I could whip up some kind of little ornament, cross stitch ornament for the ornament exchange. But then I looked up, the date is the same date, so I think, sadly, I'm gonna probably miss the party and go to the Jingle Ball instead. I think last year there was also something else going on at the same time as part of the Jingle Ball, because I think it may have been the Christmas party. I don't know. But anyway, so like I said, my sister and I went out to the attic, and I didn't find the threads there. But so on the way home, we said, let's stop and get something to eat, and one of the what we thought of was this local pizza place, and we decided, well, let's just order it here and take it home, order it to go. So we had two separate orders, right? Eve ordered hers and I ordered mine, and so we were sitting there waiting. And when the guy brought our stuff, our order, he brought it in these little bags. She got one and I got one. Two separate orders, right? So it says here, Zeke's Zesty Pizza. I don't know what it says. Yeah, your family pizzeria. Zeke's Pizza and Wings. So there's a big picture of pizza there, and it's like a reusable bag, like they make for shopping, whatever. And then there's a whole bunch of little, of ads, local ads. But yeah, it's a neat little bag. I think I'm gonna probably use it for my stitching, because like like to put all my my project bags in, because actually the one that I've been using, my Barrows bag, this is the bag I've been using to put all my project bags in. And this is from, it says Barrow Neurological Institute. And there's a diagram of a picture of a brain there, the logo. My younger sister and I went to Barrow. That was where I had my brain surgery. And it's a pretty well-known place here in the Phoenix area. It's part of one of the hospitals here, but the Barrow Institute, for people who have an acoustic neuroma, like I had, the Barrow Institute is one of the good places to go, right? There's various things. There's the Mayo Clinic here. There's a Mayo here in Phoenix, in the Phoenix area, as well as the ones like there's one in Rochester and all that. But and also San Diego. I think it's UC San Diego is another good place to go. So there's among the AN people, there's a website, an AN website, and talks about the different, places that are recommended to go because the doctors there have a lot of experience, whatever. So anyway, I had gone to Barrow, and they had a like conference kind of thing about hydrocephalus, which I had because of my tumor. So my sister and I went to the hydrocephalus convention, and they gave out these little bags as sort of swag with and so I've used that Barrow's bag for my cross stitch stuff ever since then, I guess. And I was just noticing that it's getting kind of threadbare. It's a little bit, you can kind of see through it. It's getting a little worn out, and I was like, gosh, what am I going to do when it falls apart? But now I have this nice little Zeke's bag. It's not quite as sturdy, I don't think, as the Barrow's bag, but it's very roomy. So it's kind of fun that this comes along at kind of the right time. Maybe I can take some of the pressure off my Barrow's bag and have a little more room in the Zeke's bag. Maybe we'll see. But anyway, so that was kind of a fun little bonus today for getting pizza and salad and get the Zeke's bag. So I think that's all I have for this week. And hopefully next week we'll have a little bit. I will have finished at least the 7 days on Wayfaring Stranger, and we'll have a start on the bald eagle, and we'll see how that goes. And like I said, the bald eagle and the owl, I got mixed up where they go on the piece of fabric that I have. So I'm still kind of miffed about that, but we'll see how it goes. Anyway, so I think that's all I have for this week. Yeah. And so I will, like I said, I'll put all the stuff about the Jingle Ball. I'll put the link to the website in my description box below, and you can check that out. And like I said, I really highly encourage people to go to that. It's a really great, really great thing to do, and it's very inexpensive, and it's a lot of fun. So that's all I have for this week, and I will see you next week, and it'll be close to Thanksgiving, and we shall see what's going on. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye. Thanks for watching.